Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is episode 3 of my third season of the Build-Up Report. So last time, when I left off, I think I was in Canmore. Kind of had a little bit of a dry episode where I wasn't very good at having extra video, but I fixed that and I have some skiing video that I'm going to overlay for this one, just to be a little more interesting. Yeah, so we headed home a little bit earlier than most of the other Americans from Canmore because they were all flying back and we were driving, so we didn't want to get caught in the middle of the U.S. somewhere, and we wanted to make sure we made it home and got ready to go again at Mount Itasca. So we had one last week of training after Canmore before trials started, and it went pretty well. We ended up that week of training with the Minnesota Cup 1, which is just a little bit shortened mass start, 12.5K. So there were about half of the people there that would be at trials. I had a decent race. I ended up shooting 2.111, so 5 misses total, nothing special either way, and I ended up winning the mass start on that day. Yeah, so one thing before I really get into how trials went, I wanted to say that the level of the competition at the US trials for the IBU Cup is way, way up compared to where it was even 3 years ago when I first came to be at this competition. Because back then, I was a lot slower, not as good at shooting, and I had better results, back then because the competition wasn't what it is now. But in the first race, I really kind of screwed up on the shooting. It was a sprint 10K. I went 1-3, so missing 4 was too much, especially on a day when most of the other guys were shooting pretty well. So that didn't work out too well for me. Then the next day, Friday, another really cold day, we had a mass start. And again, same as the previous Minnesota Cup mass start, I missed 5 overall, but I spread it out a little differently. I cleaned the first stage and led the second lap, then came into the thing, messed up a correction. I didn't get the wind right. I missed 3 on the second prone, and then went 1-1 on standing. And that was a lot better race than I'd had the day before, but still I ended up 5th out of the guys that were trying to qualify, which better than the day before, but still not quite what I needed to do well. I did have decent points from those first 2 races, just not quite where I needed to be yet. Then we had the 2 days off in between. Saturday, Sunday were off because it was brutally cold up in Grand Rapids. We could potentially have had the race legally, but the coaches decided that it was better to wait and have them when it warmed up a bit. So Monday was our third race at trials, and this one went a lot better for me. I had kind of fixed my mentality about it over the weekend, came into it pretty fresh on Monday, and I ended up going and cleaning prone. It was pretty cool because I came into the range, there was wind on the range, I made the correction that I needed to, cleaned prone, and then went out and skied with some of the guys that were out skiing me on the previous 2 races, and I was able to hang with him. And then in the range, I missed 1, he missed 3, and I left the range. Vlad was screaming at me, Coach Vlad was screaming at me, saying, you're leading the race, you can do it, go get it, get after it. Worked as hard as I could in the last lap, ended up 35 seconds ahead of the second place guy on the day, and that really helped out my bid for the team. The way they add up the points, I ended up in 3rd, so the top one on points goes, and then up to 3 additional are named off of discretion. So after Monday, then I went, had one more workout up in Grand Rapids, a little short one to kind of shake off the race, and then drove back home and just wait to see who they decided to name to the team. Either I get to go to Europe to race with the USBA, or I was going to go to Soldier Hollow and race in Soldier Hollow at US Nationals for skiing. So I had a plan either way, and this afternoon I got the email, but I was named to the team and going to go to Martel, Italy, and another IBU Cup in Arbor, which is South Germany. Yeah, but it's really cool to be able to be on another trip that's going to go and race internationally, because last year I was not skiing fast enough and wasn't really shooting well enough, and I kind of got sick. You know, it didn't work out very well for me last year, so I'm really pumped to be, on that trip again this year. Yeah, so I get to be at home for Christmas. I'll spend another week or so here, and then on the 1st, 2nd of January, we're going to be traveling to Europe, so that'll be another fun adventure. Yes, that's about all I have for this one. I hope it was a little more fun with the video on the back, not quite so dry as last time, but so yeah, thanks for watching if you made it this far, and I guess I'll see you next time.